Hey FanDroid Universe, another week of Game for Fame coming at you with Michael Link here, your host. I'm super excited to be able to announce another Google Play Store gift card for $50 is up for grabs this week. We'd like to congratulate last week's winner, which you can find his name in the post below. We do have one small tweak again. We are starting contests on Wednesdays now. You may have noticed before it was a Friday to a Sunday, then it was a Friday to a Tuesday. Now it's going to be Wednesday through Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Constantly trying to tweak the contest to make a better experience for everybody, all of our readers. We really appreciate the support you guys have shown for this contest. Keep that feedback coming. If you haven't noticed, I do try and reply to the comments down below and try and keep your guys' suggestions in mind as we launch future versions of the Game for Fame contest. So let's get started with our app review. Alright, we're going to review the game Super Stickman Golf 2 by Noodle Cake Games. Absolutely in love with the original Super Stickman Golf, so made it easy to review this particular game as they released their follow-up to their original. Lots of different things here that they added from the original game. For example, now we have experience levels and the ability to level up. You can choose different hats, which will give you some different power-ups during the game. You got different golfers if you want different stick figures, which is funny and fun. Your different power-ups, which they had some of this power-ups before, but it looks like they have some new ones that they introduced as well. Instead of coins, it's really based off of this whole dollar or bucks scale level here. You can mute or turn the music off, which I normally do with games anyway. I'm going to go ahead and hit play here. And another thing that they added in this particular release of the game is that you can now take turns with a friend and swap it back and forth, which is really cool if you have somebody that you like to play this game with, like a child or a spouse or whoever you might be with. So that's a neat feature as well. When I hit single player here, you have different tours. So they've added some new maps and different tours here. And it feels very similar, which is great because I love the original play and I didn't want them to change that up too much. But it also has some new features and some new challenges, which is also very cool. The very first time that you come into here, which you're not seeing on my screen here, you'll actually get almost like a tutorial which will show you like, hey, if you click this now, it will do that, and so on and so forth. What we're going to focus on for the Game for Fame contest is the grassy land, and what you're going to try and do is, you don't need to beat my best score of -17. That would be a little ridiculous. I'm pretty good at the game, and I don't want to make it too difficult after last week's contest. I feel kind of bad. So I'm going to say that your best score has to be, let's just call it -5. So you have to have a 5 under par score, which is completely achievable in this game. When I click on play here, it brings you in, it shows you different statistics and power-ups used, stuff like that. A whole new screen here compared to what used to be in here, showing you a lot more than just saying, okay, you had a -17. I can actually say, well, you did that, but you used 4 power-ups, and you hit 1 sand trap, you hit water twice, that kind of thing. Which I like, because when I play games, I like to challenge myself for personal bests, since I don't have a lot of gamers in the house. You have a sign beside you. When you click on that, it gives you different tips on each hole. This particular tip, since it's the very first hole, is really telling you how the controls work, and you can use the left and right arrow keys to aim your shot. You'll see that there's a little arrow meter that's kind of going with geometry, what angle you want to hit the ball with. You can pinch to zoom out so you can see the hole. You can pinch to zoom in and slide left and right if you're interested in that. I usually play it where I'm zoomed out. So I'm zoomed out. I'm going to give my arc some good airtime on the ball. And then over here on the right, you have the go button. And it's just a meter. So when I hit go, it's metering back and forth to make my swing. And the harder you hit it, the further it goes. If you can stop it at the very end, you'll get a super shot where there's actually the ball, looks like it's ricocheting, and it has a lot of the most strength you could possibly have. I can give you a hint here that not getting a hole-in-one is a pretty bad thing on this first hole. So I can hit pause up here at the top, and I can say, hey, go ahead and restart this course and play it again. Because really what I should be doing on this particular hole is banking it off the back there and then letting it roll down into the hole. Again, I messed that up. Let's see if it works though. Okay, that has a good roll. And then I got the hole-in-one. The first time you go through, a hole-in-one is going to earn you some bucks so that you can buy some level ups and stuff like that. And then you can see I have already a -2 on the first hole. So as you go through the 9 holes of this first Grassy-Land course, you're shooting for that -5 to beat my score. I hit continue, and it's going to take me to the next hole. So now it's loading hole 2, and I can see it kind of does a run through on the map. I click on the sign on this time and it says, hey, you can pan and zoom. So you know you're going to get different tips each time. There's no water trap or anything like that on this hole, so I'm just going to go ahead and try and hit as hard as I can over to the hole. There you go, you get that little vibrating ball, which showed you that I had hit it with max power. Now my angle wasn't very good because I didn't get it into that little reservoir. If I say, you know what, that really should have been a hole-in-one, but I don't want to restart the whole game, I can actually come in here and say, I want to use one of my power-ups. Since we're just in the beginning, the only power-up you have available is a mulligan, and you have 7 of them. But you can see that you have multiple power-up spot holders for when you earn more later on throughout the game. So I'm going to change my arc a little bit and make it more of a line drive and less of a airy ball. And let's see if that works. Nope, that was definitely a bad hit. However, I got the good ricochet I needed, and there I got my hole-in-one. So you can see I'm going to go ahead and continue here. I'm going to pause, and I'm going to go back to my main menu. I just want to run through a couple more of the things in the menu here. On the left side you have your Pro Shop, your stats, your how-to, different settings like turning off the music and hole previews, and if you want turn-based notifications if you're playing like that. Of course they're promoting their other games from Noodle Cake Games, and so you can look into those if you're interested. And then I can click up here on the money at any time and say, okay, you know, I can buy additional money. I could write a review, I could follow us, like us, get to the mailing list. These are all different things that will get you different bucks so that you can go back into the Pro Shop and in here buy different things like, you know, your, I'm sorry, these are actual purchases in the Pro Shop. You would want to go over to the section over here to the right of the opening screen where you can use your bucks to do things like leveling up, getting different golfers, different power-ups. One more over, they have something called a hat lottery, where you can say, okay, I want to play the hat lottery, so I'm just going to play this with $5, and I unlocked a pirate hat, which is Bloodwater. I'm sure at some point it will tell me what exactly that does in different levels, but it does tell you in the beginning when you're first learning to play the game that different hats give you different power-ups throughout. So just some different cool things that are accessible as you're playing Super Stickman Golf 2, and I'm pretty sure that, like me, you're going to get pretty addicted to it. So once you get through the different levels here in Tour 1, which you have, you know, 4 different locked levels in here, then you'll be able to go to Tour 2. It won't even let me in there. And then Tour 3, Tour 4, Tour 5. You've got different difficulty levels on each of these. So you got plenty of different courses to keep yourself busy with this game. Very geometry based with the angles. Think Angry Birds as far as making your shots tough, you know, tough angles and stuff like that. But it is a good time, very addicting, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, in order to qualify for Game for Fame, all you need to do is get a best score of a -5 or better. And when you do that on the Grassy Lands with a -5 or better, you gotta either tweet, go to Facebook, Google Plus, or YouTube a video of you playing it, and you'll be qualified for that $50 Google Play gift card. Good luck, everybody.